Hey there guys! Because I don't know how to do an intro, I'm doing this part scripted. I actually wrote something down for this. I wanted to spread some joy, and I figured a fun way to do that would be to draw some random people's OCs, because artists love to have their OCs drawn. Each one of the OCs I'm drawing were taken from ArtFight, which I'll have linked in the description. I basically just found 3 random users and chose one of their OCs to draw. And a quick disclaimer, because people are so finicky with proper name enunciation, I'll just be using nicknames for the artists and their characters, whether I can actually pronounce their names or not. But I'll be sure to have their names listed in the description and right here. Take a good look. Their names are listed in order of appearance in the video. So, with that technical stuff out of the way, I suppose it's time to get things going. So, here we have our first character. Oh, this guy, I was excited to draw. This guy has no name. This artist, the description of their character listed, this fella has no name. And they also said that we could give them one. Or at least, anyone who wanted to draw their character, so I decided to give this guy, I love the name I give this guy. We got Bill. This guy, Bill. It just even like, I chose. It was the first name that popped into my head, and I loved it. It was just, I just decided to stick with him. Like, okay, what are we going to call this character? Bill. Okay, sure, we're going to stick with that. And I just loved it so much. I mean, he's got a bill, for Pete's sakes. Bill! I had so much fun just calling this character Bill. Whether that's going to be his actual name or not, he's Bill in my heart. Even the pose that I gave this character is just how I see myself, just calling out his name. I couldn't see this character any other way after calling him Bill. I love it so much. This character, it was difficult in execution. He definitely took me the longest since I decided to go with a more painterly approach to this piece, which was a fun thing with doing these 3 different OCs, is that I did a different sort of style with each one. This one, I just decided to go the hard route. But, eventually at some point I did get tired, mainly with the background. I was trying to achieve this fiery effect, which I don't think I did as well as I could have, but it was just a quick learning experience, and I wanted to get stuff done because I had other stuff to do, so I just decided to just get what I could done, just go with what I had, and at least making it look decent, which I still think it looks decent. This character here, he's supposed to be a villain character. He deals with drugs, and he's just an overall just bad dude. Oh, Bill, how could you, you fiend? Oh, constantly, I was just, I felt like I was like Bill's arch nemesis, just screaming out his name inside of my head. Bill! Anyways, because he's a villain type character, I wanted to give him this dramatic pose, and again, it's based off just how I just perceive calling out his name, the fiendish Bill, the tyrannical Bill. I mean, I don't know what kind of villain character he is. I mean, in the description of this character, he was supposed to be pretty dastardly, so I was like, yeah, let's just go with this, and I just decided to give, like, fire burning in the background, like he just did something completely diabolical, and he's just reminiscing in his own destruction. I don't know what he does exactly, but he's a bad dude. He might do something like this. And you'll notice that there are some bits that I have cut out, like, doing the technical stuff for the background, actually doing the background. You're just like, oh, well, that background just appeared out of nowhere. That's because I had to shorten down 3 pretty long speed paints, so I just decided to cut out either parts that were clipping, like when I speeded up the videos, there were parts that were either clipping or just sort of stopping in random places. It just looked unappealing, you know, from a video standpoint, so I just cut out that stuff, as well as any of the boring technical stuff, like the background. That was just basically me just playing around with layer styles and glowing effects, and also the line work, I decided to cut that out. It was just me retracing a line over and over and over and over again. So I cut that out. Anything do I want to say about Bill? I could just repeat this guy's name, the name that I've given him, just over and over. I love calling him Bill. I could talk about that for probably a good hour, but I'm not, just me just saying Bill. But I'm not going to do that. This guy has a really fun color scheme. I mean, purple and that bit of turquoise and slight accents with the yellow and the pink. He has a good color scheme. The clothing, because I had his hands up, I wasn't sure. It looked like he had these long flowing sleeves, but they didn't look very appealing. I wanted to, I don't know, I changed up the design of the sleeves a bit more so that they would look better. And, what else did I slightly change? Oh yeah! You seen the original, footage, well, the original photo that I was, you know, taking reference of. He doesn't have any hands. Well, you can't see his hands, so I had to come up with an idea of, like, what his hand-like appendages would look like. I thought about making them look kind of like feathers, since he's got, like, a bird-like face. That could also be a mask, but I don't know. I just decided to give him sort of, like, these regular-looking hands. I didn't want to go too complicated. I wanted just... I kind of just went with whatever was going for me at the time, but I did like it, and I liked giving it a sort of like turquoise texture to match with the face mask thing, just to sort of like blend it all together. Like, that's his actual like skin feather like texture. I mean, he might have feathers, I don't know, it just might be very minuscule. Oh, there he is! Bill! Bill! My precious Bill! You fiend, you! How could you? He was fun. He was the OC I was looking forward to doing the most, because I just love the name, and the character design was fun, and that dynamic pose. He was fun. So, to the artist who made this, who I'm calling Ace, I like your character here. Very good, very nice. Okay, and we're on to the next character. Oh, look at this guy. Look at Spork. That's what I'm nicknaming him. His name is Goose, but I'm calling him Spork because I don't want to be accused if his name is pronounced some weird Yugoslavian way. I'm nicknaming him Spork because he's got spots, but even that I won't pronounce correctly. Spork was an interesting character. What do I want to say about Spork? I mean, I love the color scheme. I love the accents of that turquoise and the light blue. Those were such fun colors. And when I was going into the design of Spork, I had done some like rough sketches of some other characters I was going to draw, but a few of them were going to take a bit longer to make because I was going the traditional digital sketch route. So I figured it would be easier to do something pixel art, and I thought that would be fun to do for Goose since he's got like a simple design, but just doing a pixel art piece just sounded a bit too simple. I wanted to do a bit more, and I figured it wouldn't be too difficult to do a pixel animation, so that's what I decided to work with. And it actually wasn't that bad, just working in a couple motions like the waving of the hand and the tail, just getting a few frames in there to get a simple forward and backward motion, and then I was able to go in, build a model for the body, and it was a lot easier to do. I don't do pixel art that much, but every time I do it, I just think, why do I do this more often? It's so easy. However, first getting into the pixel art was a bit difficult because my tablet wasn't hooked up correctly. Whenever I would put my stylus down to actually draw, the icon of the pen would disappear, which really threw me off. It took me a little while to figure out how to fix that, but thankfully there was a way around it, and I was able to get back onto a good stride with building this character. Spork. I'm just thinking about later on as I go through this. I forgot a few details, but I went in to fix them up later, like the muzzle. I forgot to put like more white along the eyes. However, there are a few details that I didn't include, like I was thinking about putting a line down the belly to showcase the seams because this is a plush-like character, but because this is a pixel piece I'm doing, I figured that would be too much, that it would just make the character a bit too muddled and just too crowded. I decided to keep the image simple, just take out some of the finer details. I could have added a shine to the nose, but I'm like, nah, that's fine. Gives me one minor thing to not worry about. And speaking of things to worry about, oh man, going in to finessely just take care of each individual pixel. I mean, it's a lot easier than doing a full-on sketch. However, just when it comes to pixel art, a single pixel goes a long way. It really does. Getting rid of one pixel can make an image look more round or maybe more sharp. And if you get one pixel wrong and you see it later, it's gonna bug you. So, I mean, it didn't take me too long, but it was definitely a process to go in and finessely just clean off the pixel line work, but like I said, it wasn't too difficult, and it actually got pretty satisfying in some parts. I mean, we're not there yet, but there's a point where I'm coloring in the tail, and I'm doing the part where the underside has a turquoise green texture. I first start off with the like darker green color that I use as the like surrounding line, then I go back in and I start filling in that green space with a lighter turquoise color, and that was so satisfying to do. I'm trying to remember what, you know, there's like these little bead activities that you can do where you just do like bead art. You take like one little bead and you put it in to make an image. That's what it felt like, and had I not been like crunched for time, I might have found this actually pretty more relaxing than I did, but that was fun. I actually enjoyed doing that. Anything I want to say about Spork here? He's a cute boy. Very cute, very plushy. And I think that's the idea. Was there anything that he's got buttons on each of his shoulders. That was a difficult thing to figure out, the button that I added on the one arm. I was trying to figure out if I wanted to include that or not. The way I have the arm angled, it seemed appropriate to include that on there, but trying to figure out how to get the shape sort of correct in such a small pixelated space. That was kind of difficult to do. Oh, these spots here. Oh, that I'm doing on the tail. I started doing the spots on like one tail, then I had to go down the row of frames and focus on that one individual spot, or kind of keep it in mind, like, alright, I got one big spot here, second big spot there, big spot, little spot, big spot, little spot. It wasn't too bad. Thankfully, this is pixel art, so any of the animation can be a bit rougher and it'll be a bit more merciful on you. Goodness gracious, help me if I decide to do a full, like, line art animation for any future videos like this. I doubt I'll do anything like that. It'd be sketchy at the best if I did decide to do something like that. I don't know. I mean, that might be fun. I just don't... it takes up a lot of time. Goodness gracious. I feel like there was something I had in mind. Shoot, what? Shoot, I'm on a space here. Oh, here I go back in, filling in some of the details that I forgot, like the arms, they're a bit blacker, like near the midway. Forgot to include that in, and earlier I saw that the fur tone was a bit green. It should have been a warmer tone, and even still, I don't think I made it quite warm enough, but it was fine. And here I am putting in a quick background. Oh, and there he is! Look at it! Sorry guys, I was trying to stop the video and I accidentally cut out my audio. That's a mistake, but yeah, there is Spork. Spork, created by Herb. Nice character, very cute. I had fun. Alright, and we're on to our last character. It's Pancake! I'm pretty sure his name is Peter. His name is Peter, but I'm calling him Pancake. I'm sorry, OJ, which is actually Cjay, but I'm calling you OJ because if someone... I already explained this. I'm calling people by a nickname that I give them. It's not... I feel like there's no winning despite whatever situation you go in, so I'm just going the fun route. Just giving you guys and your characters fun nicknames. And you know what? I feel like Pancake's a good nickname for this character because he's got that syrup color in it. His name starts with a P, and so does Pancake. Pancake, ladies and gentlemen. Pancake is such a cute character. He's just so small. I have no idea how old this character is, but he's supposed to be some sort of like steampunk god of technology. That did nothing for me, and just seeing this as a fun little goofy character, which I just wanted to do something fun and comical with this guy, and apparently he uses guns a lot, or that's a very iconic feature of him, so he seemed like a goofy, clumsy sort of well, not really like he's got that comical type of personality, but that he would be the character that you would use for comedy. Like, he would be the guy tripping over stuff, doing the slapstick sort of humor, the guy you don't take very seriously. I have no idea if that's actually what this character is like or not, but that's how I saw him, and it was fun. I enjoy putting him in this fun little scenario where he's trying to shoot at something, and he trips over a rock. Oh, Pancake! Oh, you silly boy! You can't watch your footing. I thought about putting something in there you originally saw, like, you know, I thought maybe about putting a target, like he was gonna shoot at something, but it cluttered up the photo. I figured, you know, you'd be able to tell your own little story, like he's going to shoot at something, or maybe he's just doing some gun practice, but oh no, there's a rock and he trips. Oh, poor little buddy. This guy, I had a lot of fun doing all these guys, but this guy here, it wasn't easy, but so satisfying. The line work, this guy had a lot of detail, especially with like the clothes and the gears on his pants. I'm like, oh shoot, what have I done to myself? I'm not looking forward to this, but I was wrong. I was wrong. Golly, the line work was so fun. It's satisfying. I love seeing all these little details just come together so finessely. You know, when you're working on something and it's just coming together oh so well, it just makes you feel good. It's like you're eating a good meal. Oh, it's so satisfying. However, there were a few little curves I had to do, like the gear on the pants. I was trying to figure out how to get the line work proper, or just like to get a good alignment of shapes with it. It's a very, you know, geometric shape, but I was able to figure out a neat little way to get around that, make it look decent, and then I kind of just freehanded most of the other stuff. But it was fun, and these little screws here, the little designs, those were fun. I like putting the little lines, the little ridges around the little stem of the bolt. That was fun. I enjoyed doing that. Just all the line work. I would take just a little bit of time. I'd work on a little bit, like work on this part here and then work on that part there. Just take a moment, step back, look, and sigh with just great satisfaction that it just looks so nice. He's got a good, fun character design. However, there was some parts of his design I couldn't tell what exactly it was. Like the gears, I couldn't tell if that was just part of like a printed design or if they were actual gears sitting on top of the pants. Like, I don't know, they were sewed or glued on, or they just are there. I decided to make it more of like a print-like substance, made it easier for me to draw and not have to worry about extra dimensions, and I think it looks pretty good what I did. And then he's got like this sort of like armored vest thing around his shoulders, like underneath tie. I couldn't figure out what that was. It looked like some sort of armor over his regular clothes, so I just kind of freehanded what I saw and tried to make the best of it, because the detail in this is so small and the line work's pretty thick. It's difficult to make out exactly what I'm seeing. And all these parts here, the little stems, the little rods poking out of his sleeves, I don't know what those are. I don't know what they do. I think there's some sort of like mechanical function, but I don't know, I just threw them in there. They serve some sort of purpose, so they're there. They look cool. I think they look fine. Oh, and the gun. I don't like drawing technical, mechanical stuff. Yeah, mechanical stuff, it's something I don't work with a whole lot, and it makes me nervous, but I don't know, maybe I should try and do that more, because I really do like the design that I made for the gun. I based it loosely off of the example in the original piece. I kind of gave it like a round sort of like design at the end with a more straight slanted barrel, but I just decided to throw in like a few like simple design elements, or just make something up on my own, since I couldn't quite see the detail very well. And I also give it a little eye sculpt. It's not realistic by any means, but I figured it'd be a fun little design. Like this character, I don't know how well he uses guns, but maybe he's got that little eye scope so he can take a better look and see where he's pointing at before he shoots. Maybe he was focusing in on that eye scope and didn't see the rock, and that's how he tripped. That's what I like to think anyways. And this guy's got a fun color scheme. I was worried about the colors blending in too much together, since there's a lot of orangey browns, but I think I was able to figure out a way to do a good match. And I love that stripe pattern on the sleeves and the pants. I thought that'd be difficult to do, but I think it turned out pretty well, and it was nice. The only detail I think I missed that was part of the original design I wasn't able to incorporate, I think the ends of the sleeves have some sort of like dark brown cuff to them. I missed that, and it was too late, and I just decided to skip that and not add it in. I'm sorry, OJ, that I forgot that part. But, I'd like to think that I captured your character pretty well, or at least to the capability that I was able to do. He's a fun guy. I don't know that much about him personality-wise. I don't even know how old he is. I mean, he looked like a kid character, but, if you can hear people outside, forgiveness. I think I put a disclaimer at the beginning of the video that any outside noises because I've got family and animals and whatnot. Oh, there he is. There's Pancake. Oh, precious little bean boy. I thought about coloring in the lines, but I'd already worked a lot on this character. I figured he looked decent enough with the black line. It gives him a more cartoonish look, and I figured that'd be fun. You know, having each of these three characters have a different design. We got one of a more painterly style. We got one that's pixel animation, and this guy just a fun little cartoon character. And there you have it. These three beautiful, fun characters. I had so much fun doing these guys, and I hope that if I'm able to reach the artists that they like them as well. I tried to do them justice. And I think I did them justice. I'm pretty confident. And, I mean, I had so much fun, and these guys are adorable, and I'm gonna treasure these pieces that I made. They're a lot of fun. And I hope you guys had fun too. You guys have a good evening. Goodbye.